Hi, this is Jack from Alpha Charts with a state of the market video. Today is February 4th, 2023. Before I get started, this video is for informational purposes only. These are not recommendations to buy, sell, or hold any stock or security. And I may hold positions in some of the equities mentioned. Know your time frame and risk tolerance. All right, so I am on Twitter at AlphaCharts365. If you haven't checked me out there, please do. I drop all kinds of content all week long. Also, if you haven't liked and subscribed to this video, do that right now, please. Like and subscribe. This way you get, it helps me out. So thank you. And the last thing I want to mention is something that came about, I saw yesterday. Trader Lion, who I'm friends with, they are doing a IPO masterclass. And when I saw this, it was awesome because they got the people that literally wrote the book on IPO, the life cycle trade, and they're teaching a 7-part, I believe it's 7-part, 7 live event masterclass. It starts in a week, and I believe they are having some, there are still early bird tickets remaining. So this is going to be absolutely amazing. I'm going to be taking part of this. I've been part of some of their other master classes in the past, and they put on an amazing job. They give workbooks and example charts and homeworks between classes to mark up charts, and just the way that they produce this is just top notch. So really excited because I feel like trading IPOs is where a lot of opportunity exists in the market to make money. And so this is going to be something that, again, I'm going to be a part of. And again, it starts next week. And if you're interested, don't pay more than you have to. Get the early bird ticket, right? I will link down below if you're interested to click the link. This way to make it easy on you, okay? So check out in the details below, and there'll be a link there for this if you're interested. All right, let's get to the charts. S&P 500, we had that little toppy look there. Then we had the Friday, which, was down 1%. But for the week, it was up 1.62. So another positive week. Now, this is the area that we can see some supply coming to the market, right? First off, we saw supply here, right? We saw supply basically in this area right there, and now right here. We should expect supply. That's the first thing. Second thing, it got extended, right? From here to the 200-day was 6%. Anything above, I think, 5% is extended. So it got extended. What would we probably see and want to see is a pullback, maybe to the 23, maybe to the 50, right? Which is now crossing, again, bullishly, the 200. Maybe it needs to pull back and make another higher low, right? We definitely don't want to validate this nor this, right? Make another higher low, right? And now you have a repeated pattern of higher lows. At that point, this data on the 200 that for the 200-day moving average will be off by the end of next week, and this 200-day should be flat by the end of next week, right? Barring a disaster in this chart, this 200-day by the end of next week should be flat, with the 50-day rising above it, price hopefully holding in this area somewhere, maybe going all the way down to the 200-day. I would like it not to violate this trend line again if possible. Maybe retest it though. And that's stage one, right? Then if it could come out and break out, I think that would be a new start of a stage two, right? And technically stage two may have started here, but I won't count stage two until we get the breakout. And that would be pretty amazing, right? So we're looking for a pullback, maybe to get into the strongest names possible. Tomorrow I'll be doing a stocks to watch and help you identify them if you're interested. I keep those short and to the point, and really just the best names I can find. But that's the point. If it comes back early next week, especially, we'll have another week of earnings out of the way. And then our job is to position to the best names possible at the best prices possible. But that's for tomorrow's video. But again, so it's looking really good, doing what it's supposed to do. another week makes a lot of sense to come back again and retest, again, maybe the 200-day moving average, because 200-day could be right around here, 39.80-ish, something like that. So that looks good. Again, on the week, it was up 1.6, I believe. Yep. And the RSP was up 1.5. So right there with it. Love that. And something I noticed yesterday is that the RSP is only 7.25% from all-time highs. That's it. Like, that is amazing, right? To really think about that. And if it can get above, 165, that would be absolutely confirmation that we're in a new bull market, right? For me, at least. So I'm really watching that level as confirmation. But again, everything is doing right. It probably will pull back next week. But look, the 200 is already flat, right? So we saw in the cap weighted on the last chart, it was still declining. Well, we already flattening 200 on the RSP. Again, tells you a lot about breadth at that point. Here are the, let me do the Qs first, sorry. Qs. Again, somebody was asking me, how do you know when it's extended? Sometimes you just visually see, like, look how much air is between moving averages, whether it's to the downside or the upside. You can see the space. That's a visual representation. It's subjective of just being extended. And I think we're extended. So looking here, coming back down to the 200-day, again, 4.6 or 5%, would love to see it kind of hold the 200-day, which would still be in this green general boxy area. And at that point, the 200-day would be hopefully flattening or starting to try to flatten. There's a 50-day trying to move up as well. So the Qs, obviously, cap-weighted Qs need a lot of time because, moving Apple, Amazon, Google, Facebook, Tesla is not so easy sometimes, right? It takes a while. And we're seeing that in these moving averages. So cap-weighted Qs, meh. Oh, wait, before we do that, on the week, they were up 3.35. So you can see they're trying to move them. Equal weighted was up 1.88. So cap weighted, who had earnings, did very, very well this week. Now let's look at the equal weighted. Now equal weighted is already flattening out. That's awesome. Shows you how important it is under the surface that breadth is improving. And Tuesday the 19th. Move this over to Tuesday the 19th. And you can see that as this data will come out early next week, that we are going to have a flat to rising 200-day moving average. Already have that bullish cross here, which looks way different than this, right? So the equal weighted looks way, way different. Maybe you could say that right here is where we're seeing the resistance, right? That kind of makes sense. And it's probably got to pull back a little bit. It got a little ahead of itself. But smaller cap technology names, that's the place to be, right? I mean, that's what we got to be. Small semiconductors, software names, whatever. Not the mega caps, the smaller caps. That's what that tells me. And let's look at small caps, right? Small caps. Again, doing amazing on the weekly. 3.91, really, really strong. Just loving every minute of this, right? And now we're up to this part right here. And yeah, there's probably gonna be a pullback early in the week. And then when it breaks out, again, I think if and when it breaks out, I should say, that's gonna be a new stage 2 uptrend, right? Nice accumulation happening on the charts. Everything looks really, really good. Looking at small cap growth. Really, really good as well. Again, this is, it may come back and retest. Let's flip this arrow around. Come back and retest this breakout. We already have a flat 200-day. The cross already happened. Very, very strong. And my favorite, the mid caps. Love me some mid caps. They were up 3.41 on the week. just super strong. Again, very extended as well, which is, again, being extended, by the way, is very bullish, right? Like I'm excited these are extended because I know that whatever pullback happens next week, that's an opportunity to get involved in some of the strongest names, right? So that's what I'm looking for. Just pull back next week and then to get involved in the strongest names. Looks fantastic. Again, one of the few index charts with a 200-day starting to rise already. The cross happened way back here, by far the strongest, 2 billion to 100 billion, or so, 80 billion, whatever. I like the stuff, the 2 to 20 billion. Those names are really, really good because they're really just emerging and coming about and people are just noticing them. But mid caps look fantastic. So let's look at financials, right? Look at some important sectors. Financials, they're participating. Their cross happened back here. Looks really good. Again, might pull back some, might not. They're just grinding higher. They're doing what they're supposed to do. Semiconductors, I changed the XSD, so let's look at those. Look how good this looks. I mean, look how good. So strong. And they were up 4.46. Smaller cap semiconductors. That's one of my focuses. I'll be sharing some of those tomorrow with you and my stocks to watch. Really, really strong name. Again, we look at this for informational purposes, but I'm also going to dissect this for potential trading purposes tomorrow. Housing. What housing crash, right? Holy smokes. Housing is doing extremely well and up 6% on the week. Again, extended, absolutely. Now, does it come back and maybe retest? Absolutely. But the 200 days already going up. Housing's doing good. That's jobs, right? Semiconductors are doing good. That's growth, right? Financials are doing good. That's financials, right? And let's look at transportation. I use TN. And look at transportation, right? 6.58 on the week, right? So again, it's about to get the cross. It's broke out way ahead of itself, though. This has to come back in and then bust out. But that's not the point of this particular chart. The point is that everything is strong. Everything is saying, yeah, we're in a bullish scenario, right? Because they're all working, right? So we're seeing it on the indexes. Then under the surface, we're seeing the ETFs that talk about the economy and the health of the market, all showing the same thing. And now let's look at the internals, right? So let's see. So that's the third part of this, and we'll take a look here. Let's VIX it. VIX. And there's the VIX. At 18, again, when it gets this low, it could even go even lower. We've seen that in the past. This is where sometimes we get that volatility move. Again, that pullback, right? I wouldn't be shocked to see that. Not saying this can't go lower, but in this general area in the past, it's done some sort of pullback. So VIX is saying a pullback could happen sometime in the near future. Credit spreads are tightening and declining. That's exactly what we want to see. What else? Breadth study, percent stocks above the 50-day. I consider this in the frothy area. Again, with a pullback likely, not saying it has to pull all the way back here. We've seen shallower pullbacks happen, along the way. But yeah, I would expect maybe a pullback to happen, and it could get back to the 50-day or even lower. That's normal. But this is more bull market characteristics than not, right? And then looking at the put call ratio, again, once no one knows what the hell's going on. 1 foot in the door, 1 foot out the door. That to me, that's a bullish sign as well. Even the value line geometric. Spelled it wrong. Which is the median stock just ripping higher. Another breadth study. So again, I think small mid cap stocks are where it's at right now for performance and outperformance. Again, we'll do those tomorrow. And the last thing we're going to go over is gold, GLD. And gold took a huge hit. And it could be because of the dollar, the dollar, came back and is retesting the underside of this 103 area, which, historically has been a place where it got rejected. And we'll see if that continues or not, right? If the dollar continues higher, that could be a problem. So we'll see what happens with that. So I'm watching the dollar and 10-year yields. Might as well just talk about that. Just going sideways. Okay. So that's nothing wrong with that right now. If it starts to rip higher, different story. But right now, just going sideways. So that's a good deal. All right. And gold again destroyed, unfortunately. For the gold bugs. Boom. Again, it may just be got ahead of its skis. And if the dollar starts to fall again, this could easily just rebound. And next week, I could be talking about gold very differently. But right now, nah. All right. So that's what I got for you. Everything is looking really good. Watch for that early week or even midweek pullback. If you are eyeing names, that's your opportunity to get in at the right price. Right before hopefully the stage 2 starts again and we can really start to participate, get good entries. That's so important. But everything is shaping up nicely, right? Like there's times to be, have a bullish stance and times to have a bearish stance. And I think it's okay, on this pullback, as long as these general moving averages hold, right? 39.50 is like the line in the sand at this point for me. You don't want anything below the 200 anymore. And you obviously want much higher if possible. But as long as all those areas hold, why not get good entries? Don't forget IPO Masterclass. I'll have the link down below. You all have a great week. Take care. Know your earnings dates. Bye.